this morning. Almost ready to go. I don't know. Today, kind of general on the topic. I guess what's on my mind is kind of this whole everyone's hot on Syria. Everybody's talking about Syria. And we can talk about that. Everyone's hot on Syria. Everybody's talking about Syria. Don't really have a whole lot in terms of talk about. Y'all want to talk about what's hot. I know the media constantly wants us to talk about Syria. I was looking at a few things this morning. The young brother behind me is one of our young brothers, one of our young cousins from Yemen. Very popular pitcher. And so everyone's talking about Syria. I'm not sure I want to talk about Syria. Same thing. Same thing. Hashtag same damn thing. I haven't like really paid attention to the news at all this weekend. Of course, I was a little annoyed by their nonsense, and so I always post something. I'm feeling my annoyance. Saturday morning got a little loud. I apologize. Got a little too loud for people. But I kind of see things that people post, and I make sure I chime in my 2 cents. Let me see. But what did I get? Hopefully y'all are doing good. It's Monday morning. We always have to keep Yemen in mind. We always got to keep in mind that the people are going to save the children are starving the hell out of the children. You know, the only update to Yemen that we have is that people are still starving. The 20 million ain't 20 million no more. It's a lot less than that. They don't give a damn about this brother behind me. They couldn't give 2 shakes of a shake. You know, but, you know, I get annoyed when I watch things. I watch people, what's the boy's name? David Hogg, David Hogg, something like that. Everybody flipping out, which, to be honest with you, y'all come down. I don't come down on them. Like, I appreciate the fact when young people stand up. The young brother has some feelings and he's expressing his feelings. That's what he's supposed to do. But as adults, we're supposed to step back and say, well, hang on, young brother. That's, you know, show your emotion. Tell us what your pains are. Now, we as adults who can read, write, we've been here for a minute. We know how this works. We can apply a solution to fix it. And the first thing that comes out of my mouth is, where is the Yemen? Where is the David Hogg from Yemen? Where is he? Can we hear from him? I'd like to hear what's going on. I'd like to hear his pains too. I don't just want to hear about the American David Hogg. I want to hear about the David Hogg in Yemen. And I want to see the people who support David Hogg here support the David Hogg there. I want to see them standing up for stopping the bombs and the drones and ending the conflict there, right? Because the last update I got, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but no progress is being made in Yemen at all. Deadlock. Nobody's taking anything. No one's moving in here anywhere. And whoever runs all of this nonsense has to be tickled to death. Tickled to death. Because no side is getting anywhere. They got it locked in. It's like the whole Iran. The first time I was exposed to how this stuff works is Iran. What was it? The Iran-Iraq Contra conflict, where a social studies teacher taught me when I was David Hogg's age. Hogg. I'm sorry, I'm saying his name wrong. Hogg, something like that. When I was his age, a little younger than him, the social studies teacher slipped up and said America funded both sides. You know, we funded the Iranians and we funded the Iraq just to keep the war going, keep people dying, making a whole lot of money because we had an interest. And even back then, I don't think it's as heinous as it is now. Now we don't care. Now it's pure oil. It's in everybody's face. It's not that we're finding out 10 years after the fact. We're finding out they lie about everything. So I want to know, where's the David Hogg in Gaza? I want to hear from the David Hogg in Gaza. And I want to see everybody who's upset. I want to see the David Hogg in Gaza. I want to see 1.5 million Twitter followers for him or her. I want to hear about the David Hogg in the Congo. I want to hear about the David Hogg and I'm gonna see everybody who's standing up for the American David Hogg, stand up for them, and we all stand up for peace. That's what I think. I think we need a meeting of tribes, because this brother behind me, if you look at his picture, this is not acceptable anywhere. Anywhere on a planet where any sentient creatures actually have power, anywhere in any type of governing leadership, driving that planet. There is no sentience in this human race. And I'm just, that's where I'm coming from. So I'd love it if somebody would tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me we're sentient. Somebody tell me this Monday morning with this man behind me, and we'll go talk about something else. But tell me with this man behind me, this young man, tell me how we are sentient. Tell me, please, somebody say something. Say something. I'm waiting. Somebody, Obama voters? Yeah, this is where it started, huh? Bush voters? Clinton? Huh? Trump voters? Tell me how this is sentient. Tell me whatever you believe. If you're an atheist, or you believe in microbiology, Mother Nature, Shiva, Hindu, Islam, Christian, God, tell me where this is okay. Tell me where your God or your Mother Nature is actually in support of doing this all day long. Tell me. Can't tell me, because it doesn't exist. Because you actually don't believe what you believe in. You don't believe what you say you believe in. You're a phony, you're a fraud, you're a hypocrite, and I'm about to get upset, so I'm not going to change. I'm not going to sit on this topic. I'm going to talk about something else. I'm just going to say, don't be a hypocrite. This is what matters. This life matters right now, to me, more than any other life. Listen to the kids. Listen to the David Hoggs. Not their solutions, because their solutions are handed to them. They're children. But listen to their pain. Listen to the pain of all these kids all over the planet. If you're sentient, if you actually have some sort of sense of life in your species, listen to them. But then come together. I'm going to switch my picture, because if I stay on this one, I'm going to get upset. Man, I don't like to get upset. Hold on, let me switch around. I don't like to get upset, because when I get upset, there's too many angry black men, whatever y'all want to call them, African / whatever, this, that, the other. There's too many of them on the internet. I'm not trying to be one of them. I am not at all. I think we need a meeting of the tribes. You know, you listen to the kids and you listen to their anger. You listen to their, those are boobies. Can't show boobies. Can't show boobies. That'll get me in trouble. We need a meeting of the tribes. We need the people to come together from around the world. That's what the internet is for. The internet's only purpose is so people around the world can talk, because we don't have a whole lot of time to talk. We don't. They're going to shut all this down. They're going to they do not want the tribes talking. They don't want 99% of everybody all over the planet agreeing on the facts that all of the people who are doing this, they're doing it to everybody, and they don't care. They will starve your children, and they'll make them skinny as the kid I just shown. They'll do that to David Hogg. They'll do it to all of them. I was asking a question this weekend, you know, because y'all get all upset when they do stuff to Americans. I'm just trying to figure out, you know, why in the world is it such a selective? I'm not sure if it's racist, but it's something like that. It's brought about by the same hate. I think all the tribes have to come together. See his brother right there? Hold on, wait, somebody get mad. See this brother right here? See the guy with the uniform right here? Yeah, I know. Some of y'all look at him and say, oh, well, he caused it. He's the monster. He's a fool like the rest of us. The military are fools like the rest. They are lost in this stupid, ignorant nonsense. And I know everybody says, when I say that, they say, oh, well, the military's got to stand down because they're doing it. It's the police, it's the NSA, the CIA. I know, because I like to mess with them too, but it's all of us. It's all of us. And that's why we have to have a meeting of the tribes. We have to have a meeting of the hypocrites. We all have to come together and talk about how the hell do we get out of this? You know, we all have to find that love. We have to find some sense, some common sense, so we can go back on the path of becoming sentient, so we can unpause this ignorant lock that we've been in, because we're all locked into it. See all the guys around this rug right here? They're all just trying to pay a mortgage. I know, not same kind of mortgage. Might be something, you know. The house isn't as big, right? May not have the same type of bricks, but they're all just trying to support a household. They're all just trying to live. Some want to thrive. Same with the brother who's holding the gun, right? You know, the same with the military cat. We're all locked into this, and we all need to have a meeting of all these tribes. We all need to lay down our ignorance and have these discussions. So let me do this. I'm gonna go back to some comments because I really don't have nothing to talk about. How y'all doing this morning? I'm just, well, I got one thing I want to talk. One thing I did want to mention. I don't know if y'all knew this. I was gonna play the video clip. I won't play it because I got started late. But so you always pay attention to who's lying. Do y'all see what's happening with Scripple right now? Did y'all see Scripple, my pimple dipple? Did y'all see that? That they finally they released the substance and they got it tested at 4 different labs, and Russia went to the one lab that did a test. And guess what they found in the what is the name of the poison they said it was? The Russian poison? I don't know. Somebody had posted. They found something in there called beta Z. I think it's called beta Z. Hold on. Wait, now, you know, I'm gonna play it because I'm gonna mess it up, and I don't want to laugh. I don't want to make nothing up. I like to say things that are true. Hold on. Let me see if I can go over here. Let me show you this. This is what they found in test results.
The analysis is more consistent with the use of the poisonous substance BZ. None of these facts, and nothing at all about BZ, was mentioned in the final OPCW report, which was presented to its executive board. We request that the OPCW explain why such information and the conclusion of the Spiez laboratory was omitted from the final report.
So the toxin is called BZ. It's a white crystalline powder.
I'm gonna stop it right there. So it's called BZ. I don't know if you caught it, but they found BZ in what poisoned Scripple, Pimple, and his daughter. Check this out. So they found BZ in there. Now she gonna tell you what BZ is.
Slightly soluble in water and is a nerve agent, so extremely harmful. And the toxin was never produced in Russia or in the Soviet Union. However, the BZ nerve agent was developed by the US Army in the 1950s. Now, these findings were not produced in the report published by the or in the Soviet Union. However, the BZ nerve agent was developed by the US Army in the 1950s. Now, these findings were not produced in the report published by the OPCW. They were left out, or rather not taken into consideration at all. Even if the substance is Novichok, however, the Russian Foreign Ministry has said that
Hold on, I'm posting. Y'all watch the whole thing. So what Novichok? What no Novichok? Guess who it was? It was the colonizers, man. It was the colonizers. It's always the colonizers. It's always them. So every time you look back, every time they just lying about it. I'm sorry. All right, I'm laughing. Let me stop. Okay, so some of y'all didn't catch it. So I said, let me go back to the meeting of the tribe. Some tribe, we got to get together and meet. Let's talk about this. So the Russian dude was poisoned, and his daughter, Pimple and Scripple, they was poisoned. And now they did the test. Russia said we had nothing to do with it. They said the whole time. Sanctions done started up. They added it up with the fake Syrian attack that didn't happen, possibly. And they went over there and find no evidence. And they started just bombing like crazy. You know, I don't know that they hit anything. They on their side, they said, we hit everything. We just showed that the United States and the UK and France, our weapons always work. Meanwhile, the Russian report doesn't say that. The Russian report says we shot down more than half of everything they sent over here. You know, in the Russian report, they went through the details. They showed everything. We shot down this missile, this missile. Let me show you this. So first of all, not only are they just lying, they get caught lying. All the things that they do never get undone. And it's all about one thing. It's always about you believing it. Let me show you. I said I'm going to talk about nothing, but I get to start sometimes. Let me show you this. And so it's crazy because I was watching it this morning. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? They went over here and they went through all the details.
Now we have some more from Russia. This is the briefing given a short time ago at the Russian Defense Ministry.
Of U.S. airplanes we used M15, F-16, and also the planes of the U.S. of the U.K. Tornado in Mediterranean, and also ships want to
Look at
unveil of US forces from the Red Sea. Also bombers, fighter bombers BN-1, but also flew over Syrian territory in the Ektan region, which is controlled by USA.
All right, so he's gonna walk you through
a series of Syrian
I'm gonna silence him. What he does, he walks you through this map and he explains to you all the things. Can I pick his nose? Hold on, let me see how I pick it. I know something wrong with it. I know, I mess with the Russians too. I mess with all of them because they all lying. They all lying. But if you want to know the truth about what happens, what your country did, all right, so here's an example. So this is where he walked through and he explains all the missiles they shot down, the types of missiles they shot down, where they were shot from, whether it came from a bomber, whether it was US, UK, or France, whether it was shot from a missile, a ship. They told you the type, they told you they shot it down, where they shot it down, and they went through all this exhaustive evidence to explain to you that they shot down all of these, the vast majority of the missiles. He explained it very clearly. I'll post it so you can actually watch it. But so my example is this. If your kid gets in a fight with another kid, okay, let's think about it like a dumb adult. Let's see, because the adults are stupid. If your kid gets in a fight with another kid, do you A, just listen to what your kid says, B, listen to what the other kid says too, C, go talk to the teacher who's supposed to know what really happened, what transpired before, what happened during with both kids, what they said about whose mom is, who slapped who first and who did this, who hit, who choked who, and so you can come about a good punishment that actually makes sense and teaches the child, raises it up to be smart, not stupid. I think you go with C. That's what I think. So when this stuff happens, I'm gonna stop there. They put the map out there. You can go out there. Somebody can walk over this spot right there and go see. You see some broken up missiles, say made in France, made in the United States. We got to train our governments to not be stupid, right? We want to train our governments to be humanistic. How do you do that? When they first say something, whatever they say, there was Skripal was attacked by some poison and Russia did it. You say bull shizzle. Why? Because you don't have any evidence yet. Right now, you're just talking, you're doing this. You don't have any evidence. You didn't do anything, showed us nothing. You know, oh, it's a chemical attack. The first thing you're supposed to say is bull shizzle, right? Now, I know the media is going to keep doing this. It's going to every single channel doing this. And your only voices to your friends at the venditeria, at work, at the slave plantation, while you're picking some cotton with your kids, your friends, you know, go out for coffee, whatever. As soon as somebody says anything about serious Skripal, then it's pimples. You're supposed to say bull shizzle. Why? Because we have not talked to the teacher yet. We have no idea. There has been no evidence done. You're supposed to say lie. You're supposed to go out on ABC, NBC, NBS, news channel, and you're supposed to troll them. You're supposed to say bull shizzle. Where's the evidence? No evidence. Shut up. We don't want to hear anything we want the full story. We don't want a piece of the story, because when you put out a piece of the story and we don't object to that, everyone, you know, it goes down this path where government gets the okay to start bombing, to start sanctions, to start starving more kids because we didn't object. We have to object on the grounds that no evidence has been presented. Day one. And this is why I don't say anything to my false flaggers, right? I got a whole bunch of friends, man. False flag happened. First thing they got, like, it didn't happen. None of it. All of it was a lie. All of it. That's Ty here earlier. All the lies. We got all the lies. We have all the lies. But they always can do the lies because we never say no. We never call them on it. And so as soon as the news puts it out, because we know they don't do fact checking, you're supposed to say, nah, it didn't happen. It didn't happen, baby, till you give us some evidence. Until then, you're lying. Until then, you just came home from school with a bump on your head and your lunch bag all broke up, your shirt ripped up and stuff. Well, what happened, baby? I beat somebody up because they said that you was fat, mama, and I was fighting for you. You know, you say, okay, you know, don't be stupid, the stupid mother, and do something like, oh, baby, you defended me. Thank you. No, you stop. Call the teacher. So stop hating on false flags, because you know what? The false flaggers, they're coming under attack. They're ripping their channels out. They're shutting them down. They're turning them off because we're acting stupid. Now, I'm not saying get behind, because I'm not on the false flag thing. I'm on the disaster capitalism thing. After it's done, the disaster capitalism makes the false flaggers look like they're right, because no one ever answers their questions. And because their questions never get answered, the laws get written, the sanctions happen, the attacks go, the missiles fly, the bombs drop. And long down the road, we find out the poison wasn't even Russian. The poison was the United States, you know, or the United States had a part in the poison. Now think about it like this. All right. So the other thing about that poison, it just makes no sense, is the Russian portion of the poison is extremely old. It's not even a modern nerve toxin. It's a very old nerve toxin, but it's made in 20 other countries. Then the United States, the portion of the toxin, which actually is more of a disabling agent. Actually, it's not even a nerve toxin. I'll post the report, you can watch the whole thing. But if it's got US, if that's only made in the US, think about this for a minute. This is why you got to break it down. Use a little critical thought. Think about things. If the US toxin that was found in there is only made in the US, and the Russian toxin that was found in there is made in 20 different countries, what does that tell you? Use a little critical thought, a little critical analysis. Think about it for a minute. Chew your brain, drink your coffee. Hold on, drink your coffee and think about it for a minute. I know I don't want anybody's brain steaming or nothing. But critical thought and a little bit of analysis will tell you if the portion of the poison is only made in the United States, the origin, the chemist, whatever lab it was, it didn't have to physically be in the United States, but it was under United States control. You got to stop getting played for a fool. Well, we all have to. It's not you. Let me go back to the tribal. We got to go back to the tribal meeting. Where are my tribal folks at? We got to have a meeting of tribes, people. We got to sit down. Let me see if I can get in the meeting. Make my head small. We got to be in the meeting. We got to have a meeting of tribes. We got to come together across this planet on this internet thing for as long as we have it to talk about the people who are always lying to us. Oh, that's a bad one. I'm gonna go over there. To talk about the lies that always come up afterwards that nobody questions. And we have to start questioning them. I'm in the wrong spot. There we go. This is where I want to be. I want to see my comments. All right, let me go down. Let me see some of the Lisa says she appreciates me trying to change how people think. And you are too, which is why I appreciate you, Lisa, all the time. You change how I think, you know, but that's how we're supposed to work together. We're all supposed to share what we know. And that's the whole purpose of a meeting of tribes on the internet, and meeting with people that aren't as ignorant as we are, and meet with people who know things we don't, right? That's how we all get smarter. Anyway, I say hi to everybody. Hi. I say hi to Lisa. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Ty. Hey, Kim. Kim said, I love you guys. I just can't stand watching us sit back and pretend that voting can fix everything. Yeah, Kim, voting can fix nothing. Why? Because we've been voting. Is anything fixed? Does anybody see something fixing? Is some fixing happening? Does somebody see some fixing? I know there's still some gaslit Trump people and some gaslit Obama people who are like, oh, the guys are so different. And meanwhile, I'm just sitting here like, you know, every day, the list of their difference, because let's pretend for a minute they're different. Personally, I don't think so. I never thought so. Let's say their difference was this big. Every day, every conflict, the differences are going like this. That list, because what did Trump say? Trump said, oh, you should stop bombing Syria. You shouldn't be bombing Syria because if the leader was bombing, you know, all the differences getting like this every single day, getting more and more alike. Two men, completely different backgrounds, couldn't look more different, come together under one banner to work for the deep state. Step into an arena in Washington that they have no idea who controls what, how they control it, what kind of force or power or what they face. And magically, they turn around and do the opposite of what they say. What does that tell you? What is your brains? Your brains. Drink your coffee. Think about it for a minute. Get some caffeine in there. I know, smoking a little bit. It's a little hot this morning. Think about it. When different people, it's like we say about the whole truth thing. Right? When you take different people with different experiences, they take data from different locations and they come to the same understanding, that is the truth, right? I've got friends on here from all over the planet, Africa, Russia, India, China, America, Canada. And everybody who's like comparing information and experience, they're all coming to the same conclusions, right? What does that tell you? That the conclusion they came to is probably true. If you get presidents all from different backgrounds, where did Clinton come? Bill Clinton, where he come? Came from Arkansas. Came from Arkansas, deep, way down in the South, deep. Chasing black women all over Little Rock, Arkansas, laying babies everywhere. If you could take a womanizer like Bill Clinton, put him in the office, and he does one thing. Now he does 10 of the things he does are all the same. You know, who's the next one? Bush? Take Bush. Or Texas man, way down in Orlando deep. Get him in office. Completely different. Cowboy. Just say anything about his mouth. Everything he does, 10% of everything he does, 10 things are all the damn same. Killing people, burning people, robbing people, pretending that they care about their citizens, pretending that they care about your citizens. Maybe it wasn't him. Then you get Obama. Where he come from? I don't know where he came from. Michigan, something like that. You know, Black Papa ran away, Africa, wherever he ran back to, and a European mama went to Hawaii, married black woman, did every damn thing the same as Bush. Same damn thing. Didn't do anything. Changed about 2%, maybe 2%. 2%. He talked good. He talked cute, though. He's a real good talker. And then you get Trump, you know, billionaire, come out of New York, you know, Democrat his whole life, magically became a Republican, like that. And then do the same damn thing. When you get people from completely different walks of life, completely different experiences, and they all come to the same conclusion of what they got to do, that's true. Because it's what they got to do. That's why I don't attack the president. It's got nothing to do with them. Absolutely nothing to do. They are pawns like the soldier in the meeting of the tribes, right? They are pawns. They are all sent there to do these things, and everybody just wants to pay a mortgage. It's greed. Poor people don't deserve to live. Yes, Kim, that's exactly what it is. And to them, no, we don't at all. You know, say, well, I'm in America and they feel that they're fighting for me. America first. You know, I got a friend wrote a book called Obama Loves America. Yeah, okay. How this works is they don't give a damn about you nor them, but they will kill them first. And when they're done killing everybody in Yemen, which is a genocide, and that's why they locked out both sides, is because America and Saudi Arabia and the UK and everybody funding them, they're trying to murder those people. 20 million people they're trying to murder, and that's why they got both sides locked and nobody's moving. Do you think for a minute the UK and America don't have the ability to give Saudi the power to actually take Yemen and end the war overnight? They do. And American troops are there fighting too. You think American troops don't have the ability to take out the tribal gangs that are actually using outdated equipment that they sold to Iran that's 40 years old? You don't think they can end that tomorrow? They can. So the plausible only conclusion that you can draw is they don't want to, because they want to murder those people. This is an artificial famine. They're starving those people. And when they're done murdering and starving them, whose kids do you think gonna look like this next? Wait a minute, where are we at? Whose kids do you think they're gonna look like this next? Your kids. The only difference is it's not gonna be a young Arab looking child. It's not gonna be a young Yemenese looking child. It's gonna be a young whatever you are, Irish, black, whatever. This is gonna be your grandkids right there. That's gonna be them. Because you keep getting behind people who don't give a damn about human life. You refuse to come together at a meeting of the tribes, talk about what we got to talk about the forces that are coming against the human species. Let me find another meeting of tribes. Meeting of tribes, we got to come together, y'all. We got to come together. We got to dance together. We got to share bread, break bread, remember what is good in life together. We have to pay homage to whatever God you believe in, whatever you know, lay all that stuff aside for a minute. You know, and tap into that love that we can do something about it. Yvonne said we're all indoctrinated. We all are indoctrinated. We are all lost in this. We are all, every single one of us, but we got to admit that we don't know it all. We all got to admit that we don't know ever what's going on. All day long, that's what I see. I see people fighting over things they don't possibly know. They're fighting over things that are happening in countries they've never been, people they never talked to, people they don't talk to now, countries they're not in now, things that their government always lies to them about, and they're actually arguing about things they couldn't. There's no physical, intellectual data. There's just no possible way they actually could know the things they're actually fighting about. Is that intelligent? I know somebody get mad when I say that, but honestly, like, think about that. Because there's some things I say that are dumb and people call me on it. But is that actually intelligent? Do you think that you are an intellectual? Do you have intellect? Is that intelligence? Do you think that's sentience? To argue while people are being murdered, people of your species, is it sentient to argue about other things that you couldn't possibly know? Does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense to me at all, because we're not sentient. It doesn't make sense. We're not sensing the value of human life. We're just as bad as the people that you vote for, just as bad as the people that you support. Because if you get behind that leader, you are affiliated with them, you know, which is a true support type thing. People say, you know, some people don't like me because I'm black. I'm not black, but that's what they see. That's fine. I'm a biological mix of DNA from all over this planet. And the dark people who came from Africa and India, spend a little time under that sun, they're the genetics I have for my skin. But people don't like me because of that. Some people don't like me because I'm Christian. Some people don't like me because I got brown eyes. Some people don't like me because I got a mustache. Some people don't like me because I got a bald head. But all of that's insignificant, right? That's insignificant. They don't know me. I don't care about that. I'm not mad at them. You don't know me. Get to know me. Maybe you might like me. Maybe some people know me still don't like me. I'm okay with that. But to actually get behind these politicians and these leaders and fighting for things that you don't know, and you know they're murdering people, at least it's a sentient thought in somebody who hates me for my race. At least it's a sentient thought. They don't like me because they have evidence and data. Somebody who looked like me did some bad things to him once. Some women don't like me because I got a bald head, because there was a bald abuser who abused them once. They were told bald men are dangerous and angry. People used to grab the purses when I walked by. But at least there's data in the decisions that they're actually coming to. Imagine that. The people with hate, true hate, actually are more in tap with their sentience than you are. How scary is that? Very scary times. Very scary times. But I laugh a lot. I know. I'm not scared, though. I'm not scared. I'm scared for the people that they're killing. My heart goes out to them. For me, I don't care. Me, I laugh, because they want me to take them serious, right? That's the first thing that somebody new comes to you, maybe they don't know you, and you start talking about things, sounds like politics, but it's really human life and human rights and evolution and growing towards sentience as a species. And they want to fight you, and they wanted you to take it serious. Oh, they start giving some data. Well, this happened, or that happened, or this happened, that happened. I said, oh, yeah, that's only part of the data, huh? That's the same why that almost equates people who live on hate. People who make decisions and want to fight you over partial data. Let me see. Cockfight on the grand stage. Yes, Mark, that's what it is. That's what it is. They're just zipper fights, man. That's all it is. I know you're probably talking chickens. I was thinking something else, but that's all it is. They want to show who's bigger and better. It's always a thing of that macho machismo, that nonsense, which is why I say we need to have, look at this meeting right here. And this is another thing. Look at it, but this is not the meeting of tribes we need to have. Anybody see any women in there? Huh? Does anybody see any other genders that people affiliate with other than male? We even got to get that together. Let me change my picture. Hold on. I didn't see that. We need to come together as the tribes. We got to come together and dance and sing about what is good in life. We need to meditate with each other and go back to being human. If you're not angry, then there's something wrong. People are suffering. Yes, Kim, you got to be angry. But you also got to channel that anger too, right? So it's about tapping into that energy, because anger is an emotion. It's a good emotion and you should feel it. But you always want to take that energy and route it into something constructive, something that'll bring about an end to the thing that makes us angry, which is important. I was watching, I guess they were marching on Washington. They had a pro-Syrian anti-war march on Washington this weekend, which was wonderful. 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 Are they going to do it when their president actually wins, though, right? Are you marching because you don't like the president, or you're marching because you actually don't like people being murdered? We got to make those decisions. We have to solve it. But if you're just angry and you're yelling and screaming and marching, you might as well stay at home. You know, you might as well stay because you don't have a solution. And so anger's important, but also channel that in your way. You know, it's not everybody's way to be silly and come out here and make videos. It's not everybody's way to meet with the tribes online and have these discussions, you know, but when you run across people, we can't let their narratives live. We have to take that anger and put it out in a way that actually can solve a problem. We got to process the information, do some root cause analysis, a little critical thinking, think critically about the problem. And before the solution comes out, do we actually know the problem before we're cheering a solution? Do we actually know what the problem is? Do we actually know that the presidents in the United States of America and the prime minister, the UK and different places, that they actually don't run their countries? Do we actually realize that replacing that warm body does nothing? Like, you got a lot of people now, they want to impeach Trump. Impeach him. I'm angry. And it ain't going to do a damn thing. It's going to get him. The baton will go to Pence. Pence is just a Democrat. That's all he is. I know people getting mad. Pence ain't no Democrat. Yes, he is. They're all on one accord. All he's going to do is more of the same. They ain't going to get upset. We got to get Pence. We got to impeach him. Get Pence out. I'm angry. Impeach him out. Get him out. Guess what? Next one coming. Get Oprah in. Oprah do the same thing. I mean, how many more same thingers do we got to do? Again, Teletubbies, Poe. How many times do we got to do again before we realize we're not changing anything? Do your root cause analysis and guarantee that the solution affects as deep in the root as you can actually see. Otherwise, don't get behind it. Your anger is useless. Yeah, it's just a pissing contest. Other than that, y'all just sitting here, y'all sitting here by the water, just seeing who can pee farther. I can pee a little further. Oh, no, I got you. I can pee, you know, drinking beer, you know, hold my beer. I'm going to see how far I can pee. You know, come on, man. We got to grow up. Let me see. Ellen called it first. I don't know what you call first, girl, but thank you for calling it first. Good morning, Ellen. Good morning, Shelly. Teresa, what you got? I'm on fire. I hope I'm not on fire. I ain't dropping bombs over here, Teresa. They're dropping bombs somewhere else, you know. So I'm not on fire, so I have a smile on my face. I don't expect people over there to have a smile on their faces. But what I do expect is I expect people on this side to at least speak up, right? To at least talk about what's happening in other places. We have to keep that going. We can't let them dominate the media until they shut down the only places where there is an alternative voice. Like we talked about this weekend, I had Sister Sharistan on, if you didn't see that video. But in California, they're shutting people up. You'll no longer be allowed to post my videos. Nope, don't post them. You'll go to jail. You'll go to jail, you'll get fined or whatever, you know, because they say now you can't post anything unless you have a methodical way of fact checking and combating false news. So you can't even share stuff on your profile in California. Who was that? Senator Peter Pan, bastard. Y'all should be protesting at his house. Oh, somebody get some eggs, you know. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I say that, probably throw me in prison. You can't even say that stuff anymore because we live in a police state. We live in a police state. Did y'all see what happened? People keep sending me the video from Philadelphia. Did y'all see that where they arrested the two brothers that y'all call them black men? That's fine. I'm fine with that. That's how you want to talk. But they arrested two people of dark skin, two family members, two of your cousins, two of your brothers, and they put them, I don't know if they went to prison, but they sure arrested them for sitting in a Starbucks. Sitting in a Starbucks, waiting for a meeting. They were two real estate guys. And, you know, and so I watched the video and listened to my friends on the right, you know, because I always like to listen to the right and the left. You got to get both sides. One of the things I learned is you always got to pay attention. Well, what happened before the video was turned on? You know, before the video was turned on is an important thing. But the reality is, in this particular situation, to me, it doesn't really matter what happened, right? You had other people in the cafe who were sitting there who did not have dark skin, which is why I love the whole solidarity. And that's why I think things are changing now, because people on both sides and all sides of everything are now starting to speak up, saying, why are you arresting these men? You shouldn't be arresting them. They did nothing. They're sitting here peacefully. And you watch them stand up and get walked out, take them to get processed. And meanwhile, everybody in Starbucks culture, we know what happens. We go to the cafe. You don't order till your friends get there. You don't order till who you're meeting with gets there. Everybody does this, but perhaps the barista or somebody who worked there didn't like how they looked. You know, perhaps. I don't know. It could be something different. Maybe they were his favorite seats. We don't know that it's always race. So I don't always go there. I don't care about that, actually. What I care about is the root problem. The root problem isn't that the barista was racist. That's not the root problem. I don't care about that. That's how I say it. Nobody cares. What I care about is we live in a police state that because that person might be racist, then maybe that was their favorite chair. Maybe they don't like dreadlocks. I don't know what it could be. But we live in a police state where the police show up and they don't show up and say, well, you know what? Yeah, I guess it is your establishment. If you're saying that you don't want these people sitting here, I'll escort them out. But I'm not going to arrest them. They act, no crime was committed. They did nothing. You guys need to walk out, go have a good day. Love you. Give them a little hug. But no one attacks the root cause. No one talks about the root cause. You just, yelling and screaming, oh my God. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask people who don't have a brown skin, people who aren't locked into that whole racial, whatever it is, when you see things like this, you need to talk about the police state. That's the problem. Talk about what empowers sick people. We're always going to have sick people. We live in a society that breeds psychopathic people. We live in a society that breeds racism on all sides. We live in a society that breeds religionism on all sides, right? We can fix that, but we got to go down to the root cause. And that's what you need to make go viral. It's not that, oh, the guy's racist. Because what's going to happen? Well, Starbucks will get up and they'll look and they'll see, oh, people aren't going to buy our coffee because we got a racist Batista. So they fire him. Guess what? 3 weeks later, they hire another one. Pointless, useless, dumb, stupid. Why would you worry about it? And he's going to go get a job at another coffee shop. Don't be dumb. Fix the actual problem. Don't talk about whether you think he was racist, because you don't know if he was racist. Talk about the actual problem. We live in a police state where the police don't work for us. And it's not the police's problem. They don't write the laws. It's like the doctors. People, say, well, you're always talking tough about doctors. I do talk tough about doctors, but I love my doctors. I do. I get in a car accident, they're going to save my life. But the doctors don't run the AMA. The doctors don't own pharmaceutical companies. The doctors don't control that. They're just kids who went into school and said, you know what? I want to help people and I'm going to do this. And some of them said, I want to make a whole lot of money and poison people. There might have been some who did that, but not the vast majority. Same thing with police. The vast majority just want to help, but they don't write the laws. The doctors, they don't own pharmaceutical companies. The military, do you think they actually do foreign policy? Really? Really? The guys who carry the guns. The guys who getting bomb shot, killed, come home, and the VA doesn't do a damn thing for them. Those guys, they're writing the law. You want to attack them? Huh? You want to call them the baby killers? That's going to help this? Really? Okay. All right. That's why I kind of laugh. That's why. Because sometimes, like, the way people's brains work, I'm just like, well, you know what? I'm not totally convinced we get to stay here, y'all. I'm not. I'm not totally convinced. I think that maybe this was our run. Maybe we gave it our best shot, maybe we did what we could and now it's time for something else to take over, maybe we, but there is an awful lot of humor in all of this nonsense. There's an awful lot of humor in actually looking at people who can pay a mortgage. They can get degrees up to wazoo. They can get philosophical degrees and PhDs and bachelor degrees and just all up to wazoo. And they can't do math. They can't say 2 + 2 = 4. I don't like to kill people. I don't know anyone who kills people, but I'm going to keep voting for people who kill people. I'm going to keep voting for the parties. All right. What else we got? History Channel documentary on Clinton lies, untold stories of the 90s. Yes, Shelly, watching it today. Also on today. Okay, y'all should watch that. I think it's important. I think if you think that the Clintons love people and they want to make America great again too, that they want to bring some hope, I think you should watch it and find out who the Clintons are. But the other side too is I tell people who voted for Trump, you actually watch some of the stuff that Trump did too. You need to find out who he is. Nah, nope. I didn't see no sandals when he was up on the podium accepting. No, there's no no Jesus Christ sandals. There was no crown on that head either. And they're still on the other side screaming, Stormy Daniels. They're over there screaming. Meanwhile, they forget about Monica Lewinsky. Lewinsky who? You know, I don't care about that. That's not news to me. You know what? The dumb thing Bill Maher said, I can't stand no Bill. I can't stand him. I can't stand him. Boy, this dude and lost his mind. I used to watch him. I used to like Bill Maher, but I'm pissed at Bill. Because Bill is he's just a little Hillary shill. I'm sick of him. What did he say? He said, oh, well, Trump is shooting missiles because he's trying to distract us from Stormy Daniels. Really? Man. You mean to tell me you 50-something years old and you dumb as a bag of bricks? You think that he's going to shoot some missiles because he doesn't want people talking about who he was sticking his phallus in? Are you really that dumb? Do you think anyone cares about any of that? Do you think he cares? He's still doing it. Then between interviews, Stormy's probably going to the White House now. He could care less. They could care less. You know, but this is why, you know, people are kind of bought out into this stuff and they're actually perpetuating the nonsense. You know, I think now maybe it could be a distraction from something else, but it's not a distraction from something that people don't care. Me personally, I want a president. I want our politicians to be happy. When they're less happy and less backed up, less angry, they do less dumb things. They, you know, when people generally have good feelings in life, they want to do good, and they can be JFK and go disappear, but do the actual right thing and leave a message for us, give up their life for us, because that's what the politicians, you're supposed to be serving us. That's what a politician, I think, who's honest will actually do. Kim said, we're spoiled. Yes, we are spoiled. We have to step out of our spoiledness. We have to grow up. Absolutely. Labels, Shelly's talking about. Yes, we got to shed the labels, let it go. Prejudice. Uh-oh. My phone is screaming at me. Hold on. Who is this? People got questions for me. It's I'm not gonna tell you who it is. I'm not gonna answer it neither. I'd get in trouble that way. Put my phone on silent. Yeah, I got bird sounds. That's what I do. I like it. I like birds, man. Birds are good. Y'all like birds? I'll talk about birds. Can we get back to having some human rights and government and leadership? We can talk about birds all day. Look at this, another meeting of the tribes come together. This looks like the one, is this the one in Peru when they get together and they all meet and everybody goes down there, or Brazil? I forgot where that was. I forgot what it's called too. Friends of mine went over there. Shallow Hal, remember the movie? Yes, Ellen, Shallow Hal, very applicable to the topic. Don't remember all the details of the movie, but I do remember how gaslit and dreamy Shallow Hal was. And we live in a country full of zombies. We are facing the zombie apocalypse, people, because people don't come together on the internet and have these tribal discussions. They link up with their tribe and they embrace each other's ignorance. Prejudiced people are ignorant. Yes, they are, Crystal. They're ignorant and prejudiced people. But, you know, there are prejudiced people who utilize critical thought, right? There's prejudiced people who actually go and meet the people they're prejudiced against, and they realize that they put their pants on one leg at a time, too, that their kids like soccer and basketball and baseball, too, and they realize, damn, we're all the same. And they grow up. I can make excuses all day for prejudiced people. I can make excuses all day for hate. I can't make any damn excuses for people who should know better. People who actually went to colleges and met all different types of people. And they've shown that they're not locked into a little community in the South where they only met certain types of people. They're not locked into a little community in Detroit or Washington, D.C. and they never really met different types of people. I understand their ignorance. I don't understand the ignorance of people who've shown they're capable of critical thought. They have a job that requires it. They will deploy critical thought and root cause analysis all day for a paycheck, but they won't give a damn for a planet. Those are people who bother me a little more. You know what I mean? I don't like prejudice, but I'll talk to prejudiced people. I can stomach them. I can have patience and try to give them the pieces of information they don't have, because a lot of them will willingly take that information. But the ignorant, angry, hateful, spiteful people who know that they're being lied to, but they're still buying into it and they're still supporting it. You know, you can give somebody love who's capable of love. Can you actually give somebody love who isn't? Can you help somebody? Can you really bring out their love and their concern for other people if they have the ability to know that this is wrong? but they still keep doing it. You know, so I don't know. It's kind of what I'm thinking about. That'll probably get me in trouble too, but I'm okay with that. I'm just thinking out loud. Y'all are just driving my thoughts. That's all we do. The point I'm trying to make, Mary, is that we have no real emergency that pushes people to fight. I'm not sure what y'all are talking about, Kim. You know, but in terms of like a fight, I'm not a revolution guy. I'm not a pacifist either. Don't ever be mistaken. I'm a pacifist. I am not a pacifist. We have the ability to intellectually and peacefully resolve the problems of the world. We've had that for decades now. And I think we should use that. Now, if we get back into a corner, I'm good to go too. I'm good to go too. My place, let me go back to this. Let me go back to this young man. This young man, I can express my emotion with him behind me the best. I will do everything I can, utilizing this big, massive head, to try to get people to fight for him peacefully, to get people to stand up more for him than they do their selfish, prosperous, ignorant Western lifestyles. You know, to connect the dots that their job in corporate America is directly related to starving the hell out of him and making his stomach bulge up, making it so his arms barely have the muscle structure to lift his hand. I will do anything I can to peacefully talk to those people. But if this decays, if the censorship keeps going the way it does, California and everywhere where they're just trying to take out free speech and people can no longer talk and they actually resort to some sort of a fight, Kim, I can tell you where I'm gonna be. I don't have to say it on here, but I have a smile on my face, but that's not what's happening in my heart when I see this young man right here. I love kids. I love kids to death. I will push 20 adults in the fire. I'll push them off cliffs to save one child. I don't care anything about adults. I don't. I'm adult. We're old. We're crotchety. We stink. Wrinkled. Gray hairs. We should be pushed off cliffs to save one of them. So when we live in a world where adults are killing 20 kids to prop up their little lifestyle because they got a nice little car sitting in front of their house, they want to keep their corporate job or whatever. If it ever descends to that, Kim, I can tell you where I'm gonna be. And this young man, if he's even still alive, he actually would say thank you for what I would do. But I'm not a pacifist. I'm a pacifist in times where being a pacifist can fix the problem, where we can fix the problem without people getting hurt. But if this stuff falls apart, oh no. It means it means that I have to love people in a different kind of way. Sometimes you got to give people a little tough love, right? Sometimes there's some kids that you can raise by just talking to them and taking things from them. And there are other kids like me who you couldn't. You can take anything you wanted. I was stubborn. My father, thank God, he knew how stubborn I was. You could try all that. You know, if some of these people who I don't believe in spanking, I don't believe in tough love. Shoot, if you raised me, man, I'd either be in prison, I would have murdered people, or I probably would be robbing them. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I needed tough love. I needed the spankings. I was not a kid who could learn just by words because I was really, really stubborn. And my father knew that. And so he gave me my stubborn abilities to love people. Now I'm stubborn to love people. I'm stubborn against bad people. And I'm not saying I'm a violent person. I'm not. I just think there's a time and a place for everything. So anyway, I'm not going to, that's a deep road, not go down that road. But no, don't mistake me for a pacifist. I have a lot of friends who have a lot of things and a lot of bunkers and they're survivalists. And we agree on a whole lot of things. But it's not a time for that. Right now is a time for taking that anger and that fight energy and channeling it into positive, peaceful things. Let me see what Shelly said. Well, guess what? I just shared in California. Too bad, so sad. Just shared in CA. I'm not sure if you're saying California, Shelly. I'm sorry. I'm starving for peace, and that makes me angry. Yes, Mary, that's that love. Absolutely. We need to be starving for peace. We need to be starving for peace for these children. We need to place them before our little ignorant own adult needs. Let me see. I want the world to be run on love, not money. Kim, you know what? I think the world goes around on love, right? I think the world is actually, what makes the world go round is love. And money is probably just what gets stupid people fighting each other. Like, I don't think money makes the world go round. I think, oh, we got breaking news. What's that? Moscow has irrefutable evidence irrefutable evidence chem attack in Syria. I'm not sure what that is. Breaking news on RT.com. What the heck? Y'all go to RT? Deep State done sent me a link. They done sent me a pop-up. I've never seen that before. Thank you, Deep State. While that comes up, I don't know. Irrefutable evidence. Moscow has irrefutable evidence. Chemtech in Syria. Duma was staged. Oh my God! Russia envoy to OPCW. Wow, irrefutable evidence. But you know, dumb people, they won't believe it. They'll say, oh, but it's Russia. They're gonna lie. No, Russia's not gonna lie when it comes to the American government. They'll tell you the truth because they're the weaker side. That's the reality. They actually are, unfortunately, the weaker side. The weaker side, the one that Russia spends what, 26% of the spending of the United States, of the NATO allies. So Russia does not have the weapons America does. Now, but when you are the weaker side, you got to be smarter. You got to be more strategic. You got to pause and wait for evidence. You got to see that a weaker foe can beat a stronger foe if they're smarter. And Russia's playing the smart game. And so they got them. I have to go click and see what it is. But I'm not surprised though. Like some people, oh, I can't click on it. Some people look at that and they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm surprised. No, it's not surprising. I'm gonna click off of that. There's nothing surprising about it. There shouldn't be anything surprising about it because we know that they lie all the time. Mark says love doesn't feed us. Mark, love doesn't feed us yet. Not yet. Love can feed us. Actually, that's not true. No, I'm disagreeing with you, Mark. I've never disagreed with you in my life. I don't think. I'm gonna disagree with that. Love does feed us. Because how do infants eat? Ooh, y'all gotta go see a movie. Guess what the movie I just saw? I saw a movie called, I don't remember the name of it. I don't remember it. It was a silent movie. It's the movie where people can't talk. Something invades the world and people gotta be silent. Can't make any noise. If you make a noise, there's a predator that hunts on sound. You can't even drop a pencil on the ground or they'd attack you. I saw this movie this weekend, Mark. And it was interesting. You know, basically, the whole movie was quiet. It's the weirdest thing. Go to the movie and you can hear people crunching on their chips. It was nasty. It was horrible. I heard, you could hear that, but you couldn't because you had to be quiet. The whole movie, there was almost no talking. But the love it took to feed the kid, like, you know, what they had to do to raise a baby that needs to cry in a time where these monsters are running everywhere and attacking and eating the world. It was an apocalypse type situation. Somebody can post the name, the link. I'll post a trailer. Good movie, but it's a good example in terms of we raise children on love. Love does feed us, right? Love put into effort, right? Love does feed. Love feeds the world. From we're very young to we're old. Some of us, when somebody knocks on your door and they ask for food, we give them food. Love does feed us. And the love that you have for your chickens feeds you. The love that you have for the excess eggs, I'm pretty sure you give away, that feeds others. So love does feed us. But automation can utilize that love and feed everybody in the world, you know? And I think that's where you're kind of going with that, is that we need to take action. We actually need to do things to turn that love on for everybody, people we can't reach, and we can do that. Let me see. Yes, starving people. Yes, starving people still love. Yes, they're starving people. My cousins 2-time remove have chickens. I want some chickens. Chickens are important to have. Chickens can actually feed the world. Right, Mary? People should be exhausted running around on that hamster wheel. You would think, Sandra, I don't see them getting exhausted. I do see some people waking up. I do. I see people who have that love and tap with it. but I still see a lot of ignorant people who are still lost in it. Ellen loves the roosters. All right. Cockroaches will rule the world one day soon. Yeah, Mark, that's you and I. I hope they don't, but it's unavoidable. We agree cockroaches will rule the world. On soon, I'm gonna hope that we're not soon. I don't know if they will soon, right? The world isn't designed for us. This world will fall apart, supposed to fall apart. This world is not designed for multicellular species, right? Multicellular organisms. We are not supposed to be here. Mammals are not supposed to rule this. Eventually, the sun is going to turn this into a molten thing. We are just for a moment given a chance to evolve sentience, to get off of the planet, to apply some love to the next generation, to get out of here before this becomes molten. And maybe Mars made it. Maybe Mars didn't make it. Maybe they sent people here from Mars. I don't know. But cockroaches will rule the world eventually. I would prefer it not to be sooner than later, but they start shooting off nukes. That's what's going to happen. Plant diet fights cancer. Yes, it does, Ellen. People got to be strong. They need to eat healthy. They need to stop eating cancer. A lot of people say, where does cancer come from? Most cancer, if you read the studies, you put it in your mouth, you buy it, you rub it on your skin, you brush it on your teeth, you burn it in your candle, you breathe it in your lungs. Most cancer didn't just pop up magically. The body can't solve cancer. No, the body's been solving cancer since the day you were born. The body's been solving cancer since the day we came out of monkey testicles. I know. People don't like when I say, but it's true. It's true. If we have 98% of our DNA in part with monkeys, and they say God made us from the dust of the earth, then he left out a part. They found a monkey, because where you gonna get DNA from a monkey? 98% pulled us out of some monkey testicles and made us. That's why I don't think you take yourself too serious. If you really think about where you came from, that's why I don't take you serious. You have to kind of laugh a little bit. I'm always worried about people who take themselves too serious. People who take their religion too serious. People who take anything a man wrote or said too serious. People who take their politicians too serious. Too serious is a plague. We got to get out of the too serious plague. The system is parasitic psychopaths. Absolutely, totally agree. Let me head down to some of the comments. Stormy Daniels, can you see her on Pornhub for free all day? Mark, I'm not gonna ask you how you know that. Ellen, just why, right? Devil in the blue dress. Absolutely. Ellen, critical thinking is what is lacking and desperately needed. Yes, Mary, is how we can save the world. Let me move down, see if I see some other people commenting I haven't spoke to. Teach your children well. Yes, Ellen, if we don't teach our children well, this is going to continue. It won't stop. We want to make the world a better place for them, but they have to be smarter than what we are. That's why we got to hand down our intellect, our problem solving, our critical thinking, our root cause analysis, not our ignorance. Take my energy and channel it to positive, peaceful things. Well noted, Gerard. Yes, brother, but you do, because you got us all thinking chickens. You got us all thinking, Mark. You got us all like, every time I see one of your videos, I'm like, oh man, yeah, I got to get chickens. I do. I got my gardening happening. I all weekend long, I was propagating. I was planting seeds in between, posting stuff, but we got to channel that into positive energies. And I'm doing everything I can, which Brother Braden keeps hitting me on. I'm doing everything I can to step my family towards off-grid living. I'm off-gridding everything. Every year I grow more and more food. Every year we buy less and less food from these big businesses in the grocery stores. So every year we're buying less and less food from big farms. So every year they're spending a little bit less on chemicals from the big chemical companies and the pharmaceutical companies who buy the government. You see how all that relates? We got to off-grid everything, not just our eating, but our electricity, our power, our taking our intellectual capital and dumping it in these massive corporations, but we're not spending as much. So the bank's not making as much money from us because we're not buying that food, and that's less power for them to buy, less politicians. And if everybody does a little bit, we can get a long way, but everybody's got to do a little bit. You know what? I'm going to jump. I wanted to actually look at something. Everybody hates America now. I want to go over there. Everybody, and they're all standing up and they're yelling, screaming, and rioting. Look at this. I mean, People, and there's some people who are still, and this is only one of them. There's a whole bunch of them. People are burning the American flag every, hold on. Don't buy that. That causes cancer too. Nope, don't do that. Y'all knows carcinogens in meat called, hold on a second. Make you feel good? They hate us for our freedoms. They hate us for our freedoms. You know you still got people who are yelling that chant now. They hate us. And where is this? Are these the Athenians? Let me see. That's the Athenians. And I got another one, the Gazans and Gaza. Burning flags. We hate America. We hate America. Some people are looking at that flag and they're thinking, oh, that's horrible. They hate us. They're stepping on our flag and they're burning it. That's not what I see. That is not what I see. Where's my coffee at? Hold on. That's not what I see at all. I see people who hate violence. I see people who hate seeing their friends being murdered. I hate people who don't like school shootings. Did I say that? I see people who are actually being true to who they are. I see people who are doing an act that's indicating they are sentient. They are fighting people who show up with an American flag and are actually killing people and destroying their country, that are breaking international law, right? I see people, I don't see anybody who hates me. I see people who hate invaders who showed up with that flag. That's what I see, you know? And it's like when people who hate black skin, I don't see people who hate me because they don't know me. I see people who hate somebody else who has some black skin who might have did something bad to them. Maybe. When people hate Christians, I don't see that they're hating me. I see that they hate Christians because some Christians did some bad things to them. So when I see that, I don't flip out and get upset. They're burning my flag. First of all, it's not my flag. That's number one. Number one, that's a colonizer's flag, not my flag. That's a 0.01% flag, and what they gave to some dummies who actually believe that we are what they say we are, right? They came to America, you were born in America, you live in that border, and they tell you that you are this. No, I'm not interested in that. Like a plantation owner told me, I am black. No, I'm not. You don't know me. You know me? Y'all know me, punk. So I'm not that. I am not what they say I am. I see people who are trying to get my attention, that people who showed up in my name are doing bad things. That's what I see. So the flag burning is good. I know people are like, I said flag burning is good. Yeah, I know it is, because they're expressing their emotion. The same way I say David Hogg speaking up, it's a good thing. All emotions are a good thing, people. The bad thing is when you don't utilize critical thought to understand why they are upset and fixing the thing that they are upset about. If you don't want them burning the flag, then don't cheer for home invasions in their land. Don't cheer for school shootings at their house, at their schools. Don't cheer for weddings to be bombed. Stop voting for political parties and people who do it. Root cause analysis, y'all, is basic. This is real basic. Every sentient species on this planet, which is probably the vast majority, they all utilize root cause analysis. The only species that doesn't do a lot of root cause analysis are human beings. All right, I know I'm going long, but I'm reading comments, so I'm gonna keep reading till I get down to the bottom. I'm gonna keep reading till I catch up to your comments. That's how I know people get tired of me talking. Because I got a little time today. It's raining. I'm taking my time. Money makes a narcissist world go round. Yes, it does, Ellen, and it murders an awful lot of people. Egg on America's face. Yes, Ellen, but they don't see the egg. They're like, I don't see no egg. They look in the mirror. Oh, I look pretty today. I look pretty. Just egg dripping all down the face. Because they don't care, because they know they got a lot of dummies behind them who are cheering them and patting them on the back. Good job. You showed Russia. You showed Assad. Meanwhile, Assad's like, what chemical weapons? Y'all destroyed it damn near 20 decades ago. We ain't got no chemical weapons. Dummies. They don't see the egg. They should get ugly, don't they? let me see, on the level of teaching the next generation how to think with a critical eye, I would get an A. My now my kids show the truth. I am blocked my ears towards the violent to anyone stuff, especially kids, including you. It ain't gonna happen to me. I am not an angel on the subject, but have seen another way to be a parent, and that makes that not a thing. So I think if everyone was like that, no one would think hitting anyone was okay for anything. Yes, Deborah, I'm sorry. It's a long comment. I had to read through it. I can't really read the long comments because I have to squint. I'm getting old, girl. My eyes getting bad. But I'm with you on that. You have to teach your kids, you know, what critical thinking is and to have a critical eye. You have to teach them when the news comes on, look at it. Don't look at it like it's true. Question it. Question it. Does it actually make sense? Right? A good example would be, and it's not just the news. It's like, you know how people say, oh, it must be true. It was in the newspaper. The newspaper said it's in black and white. It's got to be true. And we know that, no, a lot of stuff in black and white is a lie. A lot of stuff in the newspaper has always been a lie. A lot of stuff on television is a lie. A lot of stuff in the religious books are lies too. You know, but you have to look at all of these things with a critical eye, critical thought. You know what? Damn it. Look, the earth doesn't have four corners. Yeah, that gets to religion too. This is why I say, you know, I don't believe that any of those books are actually written by a God. That's why you can't get me with like religious anything. You can't get, because I think they're just books, and I think they were written by men. I know for a fact they were altered by men many times, and they can be interpreted many different ways. So when God tells me I'm supposed to love everybody, and then you tell a Christian leader, conservative, whatever, you tell me it's okay to murder some people, then I know that you actually don't believe what God says. And I know that you're worshiping a man who altered a book in a Bible, and your God has nothing to do with that. So it's not just the news, but teaching kids to critical think with everything. My kids, it's funny, my kids are critically think with the teachers. Oh, their health teachers never like me. They don't like me at all. Because I know my kids say some funny things. But my son came home one day, he said, Daddy, we were looking at some juicy fruits. It's like some little gummy bear type thing. And the teacher said it's organic. I said, son, what do you think? He said, it's not organic. I said, no, it's not organic. Teach them to critically think with their teachers, right? You got to always critically think. When your friends come to you, say something dumb, you got to do the right thing, right? Like, a good example. I was in college. I went to a historically black college, right? And that's not the point. The point, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, but I went there. And the first night there, I'll tell you why that's important. You'll see in the story. I went to the first night we were there. Of course, we were there doing some stuff we weren't supposed to do. I won't say because my kids might watch this sometimes, but a brother came to my dorm room. We were all kind of hanging out in the dorm, getting to know people. And he said, hey, man, we're going to go around the block to the McDonald's because somebody called me the N-word. I said, oh, yeah? What you going to do? Oh, we're going to go there. We're getting the brothers together. We're getting the brothers together. And even at 18, I wasn't that dumb. I'm sorry, I was not that dumb. I'm sitting here thinking, wait a minute. I just done met you. You called me the N-word about 72 times on the way in, you know, and if somebody who doesn't have our skin color called you the N-word, I'm supposed to go fight? No. My parents gave me the ability to critical think and say, you know what? You might be a growing acquaintance and become a friend of mine, I guess. But you said something that was real dumb. You're trying to tell, I came here to college to get a higher education. I didn't know it was indoctrination at the time, but I wasn't critically thinking on that level. And so I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna fight with some people, argue with them, but odds are they aren't there anymore, they left. And we're gonna get into a scuffle, the police gonna come, we're gonna go to prison, we're gonna ruin our college education, end up getting out of prison, can't get a job, end up doing whatever I can do because the whole nation and the laws and both political parties, they hate poor people from top to the bottom. And I'm gonna ruin my whole life because somebody called you the N-word that comes out of your mouth. Come on, man, stop. That's why I stuff like, you gotta give your kids the tools for life. And a tool that is significantly more important than math, science, English, read, write, any of that is the ability to critically think. If you raise a critical thinker, they will be successful in this life. If you raise a child that can read in a book and answer questions on a test, you raised a moron. You raised someone who will fail at everything they do. I mean, they might make a lot of money, because success ain't about making money. Success is about playing a role in the evolution of the human species. Oh, can I do that? Can I change that? That's what I think, to me, success is. Success is raising a child. A person who's successful is a person who successfully plays a role in their family, in their friends, or the whole of the world, in walking us back towards evolving sentience. There's someone who play a role in unpausing evolution. That's to me what success is. Success, I don't care what kind of cologne or perfume you got on, what kind of car you drive, how much money you got in the bank, what kind of house, because a lot of people who do that are not successful at all. They are the worst human beings walking. They'll be critical of a billionaire president, but they're just critical because they don't have it. They're just as psychopathic, evil, and crazy. I know that was a little harsh. People get mad. He called my president psychopathic, evil, and angry. Let me just ask this question. Does your president murder anybody? That's the question. That's my favorite question. Does your politician murder? If your politician murders people and you don't murder people, you may not have as much in common with that person as you think. Now, you might hate the other person. I get that. You might think they are a good person. I don't know. All right, what we got? Just wash your hands afterwards. Mary, I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't wash my hands that much. I don't, but I believe in microbiology and I'm healthy. I'm healthier than all the doctors I know. So, I'm spilling coffee. Got me spilling coffee on my laptop. You know, it's funny. I am an expert at replacing keyboards on laptops because I'm not a hypocrite when it comes to that. When I spill my coffee, because I'm clumsy, I spill my coffee in my laptops. I'm flipping stuff on the screen because I'm trying to clean off the mouse pad thing. But when I spill coffee or water or whatever it is in my laptops, oh man, we in the back of this dude's neck. Let me back out of that. That's what happens when you clean your laptop. I fix my laptops. When they break, I fix them. Guess what? You can buy a keyboard for $15. You buy a keyboard online, take your butt to YouTube. How do I replace the keyboard on my laptop? Right? Take you maybe an hour. You learn something. You learn how to take apart your laptop, take the old bad keyboard out because you're clumsy, and put the new one in. Guess what? It means that kids in where they get the coltan from? The Congo? Kids in the Congo? That means that they don't have to go. That's one less keyboard that they got to go mine your Reese's for your ignorant butt because you're lazy. You don't want to just fix your laptop. We got to stop being so wasteful. We got to be more sustainable. We got to fix things. We got to recycle things. We got to reuse things. It's what we talked about is us exiting from the grid. All grids, not one grid, not the power grid. Remember, this is not about a power grid. This is about all the grids that hold up the matrix that murders people all over the planet. It completely has to go away. Urban agriculture projects is what we need. Yes, Braden, we talk about it all the time. Everybody needs to be involved in some sort of urban agriculture. Even if you don't have land, you should be a part of a CSA. You should be growing some of your own food. The excuses, I don't get excuses why people aren't involved in it. I don't always talk about what I do because I'm doing a lot of things I really can't talk about. But everybody should be involved in some sort of way of exiting the grid. Spend some time with it. There are no excuses. Even if you don't have land, you can get land through a CSA. Even if you don't have money, you can go talk to somebody with land. You know, there are a lot of landowners in the United States and other places that have a ton of land, and they would love for you to come grow food. It's called sharecropping. You say, you know what? Guess what? Can I use a 1/4 acre of your land? I want to grow some tomatoes, some peppers, and some mint. This is crazy brown dude with a bald head on the internet says that, you know, you might be open to the idea of me growing some organic, natural food on your property. And if I do that, I'll give you half the food. And I get to take half the food home too, or I'm going to go sell it at the market. Most people, as long as you're not crazy, most people who have land that they got to keep mowing and keep cutting and they have an acre upon acre upon acre could care less. A lot of people with land, they actually used to have a farm. Their grandparents had it. Their mom had it. It was the family farm. They would grow on it, but they're too old. They're elderly. They can't do it, right? But for you to grow food so they can actually have some natural organic lettuce and some squash and some things they used to eat when they were a kid, they'll let you do it. But a lot of the kids are lazy. They don't want to farm. So we don't have any excuses for exiting the matrix. There are no excuses for exiting the grid. We can do, all of us can do something. It's just a real question of, do we really have the love in our heart for the people who are being destroyed by our convenient, lazy lifestyles? Do we actually care, or do we like people to think that we care? I think that's the crazy question. That's the question we have to answer, is, do we really care, or do we just want people to think we care? Very important question. Question we have to a lot of people won't like to answer, and so they don't ask themselves that question. Or do we just want people to think we care? I popped over YouTube, see if anybody, oh hey, Kathy's on YouTube. Kathy's on YouTube. How you doing, Kathy? So I'm looking at YouTube too. So now I got my monitors up where I can look at YouTube, and I can't see Periscope. You on Periscope? I'm sorry, I'm working on it. That's weird though, because Kathy is on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. Ain't that crazy? Kathy, you love truth too much. You want to get it double eye. I'm working on it. Someone said, don't bomb them. That's what it really comes down to. Don't bomb them, and don't be selectively. Don't choose what bombings are good bombings and what bombings are bad bombings. Killing people is bad, and that needs to be the common ground we need. Sound loop. I know why. Let me fix that. All right, that should be fixed. Let me see. They hate us for our freedom and democracy. Yes, crazy, isn't it, Crystal? People still believe that. People still believe that they actually hate us for any sort of a freedom that we have. Number one, in America, we aren't free. We are so not free. It's not happening. We are not free in this country. But no, they don't hate us for our freedom. They hate us because we keep doing mass shootings in their countries. They hate us. Let me show you why they hate us. They hate us because of this. This is why they hate us. They hate us because we do this. And we don't have enough love to stop and say that is bad. The only reason that's not bad to a lot of people in the West is because it's not happening in their neighborhoods yet. It's coming. It's coming. Chickens all, ask Brother Mark, do chickens always come home to roost, brother? Chickens always come home to roost. So don't let people be hypocrites. But, you know, I think you correct them with love, though. I'm not an angry guy who hits people with stuff. I just, if anything, like sometimes I'll post a lot. I drink too much coffee. For me, it's, I want people to think. That's it. I don't want you to think like me. I don't want you to think what I think. I just want you to think. Think about the places that we all have hypocrisy, because we're all hypocrites, every last one of us. We need to think about it. And I do the best I can. Sometimes I mess up, y'all. I'm bad with grammar. I can't spell. Kids tell me all the time, Daddy, you can't spell. It's okay. Good with that. But I try to post things that make people think. And when I see your posts that make me think, I try to share them out. I try to take the thought and regurgitate it and send it. And this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be using the internet, not just for porn. I'm sorry, Mark, that's sitting in my head. You're supposed to be using the internet. Is that still number one business on the internet? Anyway, supposed to be using the internet for meeting with tribes. We don't have a whole lot of time, so we should be working on that. We should be working together with that. Burning flags is a waste. It's good toilet paper. Yes, Kim, it is. And I have no interest in burning flags, but also don't get burned out of shape when they burn them, because it's not me. You know, it has nothing to do with me. I don't support anybody who's doing any of this stuff. I never do. I didn't last administration. I don't this administration. I didn't do the previous administration. The last president, I think I supported. The last president that I put my integrity on the line with was probably George Bush. He was the last one. He was the last one, which is kind of sick and scary to me. But at the age of 18, I knew Bush was a fraud. I know people today who are 62 who still don't know Trump is a fraud, who still don't know that, I said that the wrong way. I know people get mad when you say that. They don't know that the office of the presidency is a fraud, right? The office of the presidency is bought. You can fight over who's the most corrupt politician, but I think that's stupid and it's useless. They're all corrupt, and they're all corrupted because they have no choice. Once you are the president, you are bought. The whole office is bought. You have to do what whoever tells you what to do. Everyone around the world hates war. Yes, they absolutely do. I think Ellen said, did I miss that? Don't forget to catch Ty Nafali. Yeah, Ty. I don't know if I pronounced Ty's last name, Nafali. Video on Quigley, the Quigley forum this evening. Yep, I'll be over there watching Ty this evening. Y'all should watch Ty if you're not subscribed. Ty's daddy was on the last live stream I saw. It was pretty funny. We get to talk to Ty daddy. Find out where he came from. It's still USA, 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 no matter what heinous thing they do. Sandra, and that's why we have to call them on it. You know, you have to call them on it. I'm sorry. You know, you might show up with a Christian bent on, but if you're not doing what your Christ taught, you're conservatives, you're not a Christian. You are fake and phony. I still have more atheist friends who have more love in them than I do Christian friends. And that bothers me. Shouldn't be that way. Shouldn't be that way at all. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be fake and phony, you know, but I try to look at the pictures of what people post from around the world. That's why I like pictures. Pictures are 1,000 words, you know. That helps to get you in the right place psychologically, though, I think, especially as a parent or a grandparent, and you envision your kids in those shoes. Brother Paris, proud of Greece. Seems they still have a few human genes left despite the worldwide effort to genocide humane qualities in the gene pool. Ooh, that's an interesting topic. So what's the other gene pool genetically wired to call? Chimpanzee. Yeah, so it's interesting that I think that there is some sort of a targeting, Paris. I think that when some of the other world leaders display an idea that would take power from them, which we could say is just a more highly evolved gene to look at other human beings as being human, they do want to invade those countries. When other countries realize that the currency is the problem and they want to get off of the dollar so that there are other competing currencies, that competition actually is a good thing, they bomb invade them and they go for it's not regime change, right? It's taking away a nation's self-determination, right? It's not regime change. They're not regimes. The only regimes that are left in the world are the ones America, France, and the UK put there. Those are the only regimes left in the world. Everything else are sovereign nations that we invade and we destroy. Chewing meat. Oh gosh, like a cannibal. Yeah, Ellen, we could go there. We could definitely go there. But I'm not trying to push people away. I think everybody's like at their different level of understanding. And I think the level we're at is we're still trying to learn how to communicate with people who have different experiences from us. You know, so I could talk about, you know, some of the vegan things I know and the causes of cancer and the problems with eating meat, but it scares people. I think people need to hear things when they're ready to hear them. And so I try to feed certain people at certain times in certain ways. And like I could sit here, we could do shows every day. A friend of mine always says we got to talk about living off grid. I could do those shows all day. There's so much to it. But the reality is that most people aren't ready for that. Most people don't even know that the world is broken, right? Our conversations have to be as widespread as possible to save as many people as possible. We still can't all agree that the world is broken. We got to agree that the world is broken, because when you start saying off grid, you know, you don't explain what you're talking about, you're a survivalist, you're crazy, you're a nut, and they're not listening to anything else you have to say. So we have to talk to all people and know how to talk to them all. That's why I don't do too many things on the whole meat thing. But you got to be healthy. You know, when it comes to meat, I tell people you should eat less meat. That people, I think, understand, and I think that most people agree with. You will live longer if you eat less meat. If you eat less meat, you'll need less medications. If you need less medications, you're giving less money to Big Pharma. You give less money to Big Pharma, then big chemical giants and pharmaceutical companies tell doctors what to do less. If they tell doctors what to do less, then doctors can speak more of their own minds, especially the ones who really want to help people, who went in the industry to help people. When pharmaceutical companies have less money, they buy less politicians. When they buy less politicians, Americans have more say in their government. So now the government's not invading your country because they want to put up a whole bunch of grow facilities to grow some sort of compound to put in their medications, right? Like all of that stuff feeds together, but you got to talk to people where they are. That's why I don't go all the way to the end. We're always talking off-grid living. I talk about let's agree that the world is broken. Let's stop fighting about what we have, what we don't have in common, and let's agree to fix the world. Oh, that stuff's nasty. Dang Siri. All right, Mark fighting with Siri. I wonder, do the elites taste like do the elite taste like chicken? Yeah, Mary, I'm not going to find out. I'm not sure I want to know. Wilhelmina, organic means carbon-based. The most organic thing on the planet is pollution. Wilhelmina, organic means carbon-based. Okay, I kind of sort of agree with that, kind of. Yeah. I see where you're going. The most organic thing on the planet is pollution. I agree if you're talking about non-synthetic pollution, right? When you're talking about organic pollution, which is a thing, yes, I absolutely agree. It's carbon-based and it's a thing, but there's a difference between taking a carbon-based thing that naturally appears in the world, that's naturally in the environment, that the environment knows how to break down, and dumping pollution that's synthetic based, right? The drugs and the pharmaceuticals that they flush down the toilets in all the hospitals and the doctor's offices, the chemicals that come from radiation from the nuclear power facilities, the chemicals that are synthetic that they make in labs that they dump everywhere. Pollution, some pollution is organic, I agree with you, but a lot of that pollution isn't. Most pollution, I would think, are synthetic. They don't exist anywhere on the planet, so there's no bacteria currently that know how to break that down. So when I think of pollution, I don't think of something that where people just drop it on the yard. Like as an example, I eat a banana, I throw that banana peel in my garden sometimes. Why? Because it's not pollution. It's not littering. It's restoring carbon back to the garden, which makes sense. But you know, I like to put it on my compost pile or feed it to my worms. So I think we have to clarify, like a big issue. The big issue when it comes to pollution is we're putting something in unnatural form in a place in unnatural quantities that nature can't easily retake that carbon, right? Retake those minerals. And so to me, that's what, but there's pollution and maybe there's pollution against the environment, unnatural pollution. I think that's what you're trying to say, Wilhelmina. I'm not sure, but that's how I think about it. Mark said rubbery taste. Y'all eating elites? Don't eat the elite, Mark. Don't do that. I don't know if they taste rubbery, but they're not organic. They're not gluten-free. They're not delicious. They're nasty people who need a whole lot of help and education and they need some straight jackets. Critical thinking is a terrible thing. Critical thinking is a terrible thing to waste. It is, which is why I think people got to speak up more, Sandra. I think when you have a critical thought, say it. You know, when you have something that we're not thinking about, a different angle, post it, because we need to know that. Never waste your critical thought. If you want to speak up, speak up. That's why on my page, I make it okay for everybody. I'm good with everybody's assessment and analysis. I don't delete. The only people that I block or delete are people who want to fight. You know, people who are obviously, I'm here because I'm ignorant. I'm here because I'm a bot. I'm here because I believe all the news and everything it says, and I just want to fight with you. I want to say personal things. Those people, I do delete and I do block them because they're not here for intellectual discussion. They're children. I have no interest in children. I have interest in people who actually want to move the world forward. So yes, critical thinking is a terrible thing to waste. And if you're quiet, my thread is always a good thread to talk on. If you're fearful of, you know what's funny? You say something that my friends agree with, they'll protect you. I've seen it happen. There's more. It's like the reverse. You know how, like, if you go to a Democrat forum, you say something, they attack you. Go to a Republican forum, you say something, they attack you. Mine's a little different. I got some weird people from all different angles. And I know you voted for Obama. I know you love him, and you voted for Trump. I know you love him, and you voted for Clinton, and you a Green Party. But I'll sit there and I'll watch them ignore the narratives of their group, and they'll ally across the lines on certain things. And that's how I know real people. That's how you know somebody's real. And I want to know the real people. I don't want to know the false people. I don't need somebody repeating what the elites say, repeats their talking points, the politicians. I've already heard all of that. I don't care about that. I want people who are utilizing critical thought and original thought and sharing that thought. So never hold back if you got something that you want to say. Not just food, electricity is just as important. Yeah, Braden, and that's why I say off-grid everything. It's not just food, it's everything. Everything, literally everything. We need, let me go back to the meeting of the tribes. Where the tribes at? We need sustainable tribes. We need at a tribal, local, community, family level to be as self-sufficient as possible. When you're self-sufficient, you're strong. When you're not self-sufficient, you're weak. So anything that you rely on something that comes from outside your community, I don't know, say 10 miles, if you rely on that, you are weak. Not by my standards, but by tribal standards, right? Because usually the tribes, you go back far enough, they were sustainable to a mile. They had everything they need within a mile, you know? Ty would say, all the grids, darling, the grids. Shane. Oh, I love it. I love Ty. Ty is, oh, y'all gotta watch Ty. Ty said, all the grids, all the time. We got all the grids, all the grids. All the good people, all the time. All the grids, all the time. Being locked on grid is not a thing. No, that's not a thing, baby. You don't get to keep the grid. Nope, you don't get to keep the darling. Nope, you don't get to. All right, don't get me doing Ty impressions. I love how Ty, I have to have a condescending voice. I don't have one yet. I'm still working on it. Geoengineering definitely affecting farmers. It is, Ellen. It's affecting it's affecting the organic farmers, right? It's affecting the farmers that are growing naturally. It's not affecting the chemical farmers. The chemical farmers are fine. They're just going to buy the new seeds, the new pesticides that are aluminum friendly, and they don't care. They bought into it. They're heading that way. But the organic growers, the organic farmers, oh, the changing climate is screwing them up because who touched the climate last? It was the elite. Remember, whoever broke the climate, geoengineering, was anybody touching it? That's how I work. Who touched it last? Climate change, you want to find somebody to blame? Find out who touched it last. You come in the house, a vase broke on the ground, who touched it last? That's what I want to know. To me, that's where the plausible argument goes. It starts with a suspect who was touching it. We know these governments were involved in weather modification, and now the weather doesn't work. So the government who's been involved in weather modification isn't going to tell me what geoengineering is about. They're not going to tell me how to fix climate change. They're not going to have anything, not in my brain. If you broke it, no. It might be your place to fix it, but it's not going to be a fix that you want because you broke it. So it definitely is affecting the natural farmers. Let me see. Freedom, democracy is an illusion, Sandra. It completely is. In my hood, we call that a drive-by. Yes, Mark. Ooh, with the big words, right? America, France, and UK just staved a drive-by. You're okay with this drive-by, aren't you? People clapping and cheering. Oh, that's a good drive-by. Yeah, it was good. Got those marks. Got them hard. West Side. America side. To sit there all day, talk about the kids. You ever see the kids throwing gang sign? Mark, you probably seen it because I think you're from California in that area. They start doing the gang dancing and stuff. And then people like, oh, they're just horrible monsters, But when a drive-by shooting happens on a national level, they're like, oh yeah, that was a good one. That was a good drive-by. We just got it, West Side, And I'm just like, come on, man, y'all don't sell out. Whatever you do, don't sell out. Don't sell out. Flooding farmland right before time to plant crops. Yeah, Ellen. Yep, there's a lot of mud out there. In fact, it's raining like crazy today. We got flood warnings everywhere because they're playing with the weather. Love is more rhetoric. Action speak true beliefs. Love is more rhetoric. Actions speak true beliefs. Yes, Kathleen. We have to take that love and apply it to action, right? Like love is the first piece of it. But then you look at their action, right? Because I think this is what you're saying. And that action determines if that actually was love or if it was just rhetoric, right? So the politicians, they go up in front of television, they act like they got all this love and concern and care and tears, but then they turn around and do the same thing, right? So if you, and I'm not gonna say no names, but if you're a president and you got tears in your eyes for a school shooting and you turn around and bomb a wedding that has a bunch of kids, I think it was like the next month or something, those tears are fake. That was not love. To me, I know it's gonna sound bad, but to me, I listen to the neuroscientists. Like how they say psychopaths, they don't have that love, a lot of them that are on that spectrum. They know that you respond to love, but they have no love. They know that you respond to empathy, but they don't have it. And so they employ it extremely well. You can always identify who they are because they're the ones who will do these things, and they sleep at night, no problem. But I'm not saying, I don't know if the president's, I don't know. It's too much I don't know. What I do know is they keep doing it. It's an actions of psychopathic people, but look at the presidents, how they age. Anybody pay attention to that? I mean, Trump has been in there, he's been in there a year and a half, something like that, 2 years. That man put on 10 years. Look at Obama. He went in, he was in there for 8 years. That man put on 80 years. That man got a cane. Y'all see him now? It might be that they have no control and it affects their immune system. That affects your skin. You're in fear all the time. Maybe they're telling them what to do. I'm not trying to make excuses for them. I'm just saying that we don't know. Right? So let's not attack the presidents and let's not have total love for the presidents. What Kathleen said, look at their action. If the action demonstrates that your politician doesn't have love actually, maybe they're not like you. Maybe you're not on the same team. Last couple comments and I'm gonna wrap it up. M. John, friends will get you through, but only if they're from them. Friends will get you through, but only if you're there for them. I don't know, M. John. I'm a kind of disagree with you a little bit. Friends will get you through if they have love, right? I get people through who don't love me. I have friends who hate me. They act like they hate me in action, but it doesn't really matter. I still give them love. I don't care. Like, I'm happy, M. John, that I've had a good life. I'm happy that I have the things that I do in the life that I do. I'm happy I had the experiences I do. And I think I had those experiences so I can love other people who may not be capable of love at the moment, right? I look out for my friends and my family and people in general if I can. If you need a shirt off my back, I got an extra shirt, I'll give it to you if you come to me. So I think friends will get you through if they're true friends, right? It doesn't have to be equitable. Like, I don't think there's any equitable relationships. I don't think there's any equitable marriages. It's like you make a commitment to somebody, you're always there for them. You marry that person and you're always supposed to be there for them. You commit to your friends, you commit to humanity, you're always supposed to be there for it. It doesn't matter what Syria did for us, we need to do for Syria. It doesn't matter what Yemen did for us. We need to do for Yemen. It doesn't matter how you feel about Israel or Gaza. You have to look at it with an objective view and say, you're the oppressor. You're wrong. No matter what my religion is. And so I think love is a thing that's unconditional. You put it out there. And so the people I like to make friends are the people who demonstrate they have unconditional, non-selective love. To me, those are sentient people. To me, those are people who I know if I need them, they'll be there. They're people who I just feel good about doing good things for them. I may never need them, but it makes me feel good to do those, to do good things. And so, but I still agree with you, though. I don't disagree with you. I don't say that I disagree with you. But just from that perspective, like, I don't require that of friends. I do it because it's right, and we have to do things because they're right. But in truth is that the majority of people do work on those equitable relationships. So I do agree with what you're saying. I just try to think about it a little bit of a different way. I don't do for people because they do for me. I do for people because they're people. You're a human being. I care about you, and I'll do my best to look out for you. I have no problem speaking my mind. Sometimes I get myself in trouble, but always know where you stand with me. Never a dull moment. No, Kathy, it is. And I love you to death, sister. So always speak your mind. It's funny. It's like sometimes people, they think that, oh, I got to agree with you or you're going to be mad at me. No, if you disagree with me and you post something that you agree with me, that's when I'm going to be mad at you. That's what upsets me, because then you make me dumber, right? If I say something and you disagree with it, you're supposed to say you disagree with it and tell me why. That's why I do this. I don't do this for people to agree with me. I can go start a pod thing and have pod people and we could all be poddish and dumb together. I don't want pod people. I want to be smarter. And so you can always disagree with me and I'm not gonna, it's not gonna, there's no animosity. The only thing I ask when you disagree, make your point and post the facts. And that's how we make each other intelligent. You know, so it's always, and Kathy, I know you always you don't always disagree with me, but no, but when you do, you post it. Lisa, another one. When you're Sandra, another one. You know, Mary, another one. When something doesn't sound right, you say it. And that's how I know you're a real person. I want real people around me because real people make me a better human being. All right, last couple comments and I'm gonna shut it down. Deborah says, my goal in life is to bring that back as much as possible in my life. Make a local life for myself and those who want to embrace the sanity of that idea. We have to make a local life because that's how we have stable communities and that's how we have safety and abundance is through local small economies. But big business hates that. Medium-sized businesses tend to hate that. They can't have mega wealth if we have local sustainable communities. And that's why all politicians hate small business. I've not met one that actually, they speak to it, they like to speak to it, but their money comes from big business and big business needs small businesses to collapse. So, you know, strong, you know, when your neighbors are strong, your community is strong. But when your neighbors are weak, you're weak. Right? Because, and you're under threat because when they need something, they'll come for you. That's why France, UK, United States are bombing Syria. That's why they attack the world and they destabilize it because you can make a lot of profit off of a destabilized, scared world. You know, it's like day trading. If things aren't stable, it's easy to make a lot of money. It's easy to lie to people. It's easy to get them to do things out of fear. But a peaceful world, man, it's you know how hard it is to get an intellectual that has a good life, has food, water, safe family, you know, safety, prosperous, abundance. Do you know how hard it is to get an intellectual, critical thinking person with love to go hurt somebody or to go rob from somebody or to be okay with you to go do a home invasion in the Congo, in Yemen? It's almost impossible. Because when you have times of peace, people, they're intellectuals, they think, they're not scared, they make good decisions. They don't get behind kings and colonizers and lords. They chastise them. They don't want a peaceful world. The last thing the West wants is peace. They hate peace. They thrive on conflict. They thrive on war. They thrive on everything that is anti-intellectual. So if your place is world peace and you want world peace and you want an end to violence and you want abundance and you want a secure community and a secure world, then you want the opposite of every world leader for the most part wants right now. You're speaking against them. You're not voting for them. You're not watching their media. You're not watching their television. Every time you get a chance, you're commenting on those posts that makes no sense, that you're a warmonger, you're a murderer, you're a violent person, you're always behind it, you're voting for violent groups, you aren't who you say you are. And when we as a collective and in mass are doing that more and more and more and more, then they know we're not being played. They know that their lies aren't working. And when they know their lies aren't working and you're not voting for them again and you're not getting behind them, you're not going to their rally, you're not liking their page, you're unsubscribing from their little newsletters and you're unliking their pages and they can see that we are not buying it anymore, then that's when they're going to change the script. They pay attention to you. They do. They're ignorant, they're arrogant, and they're psychopaths. But psychopaths do great things. They study us well. They're very good at that. They're very charismatic and they pay great attention to detail. And they understand that if the populace isn't buying it as much anymore, that they have to make a shift. And in that shift, while they're still in power, it can preserve human life. And it can give us a little more time to get our act together to deploy peaceful solutions and put people in office, in places of leadership that actually do want world peace as opposed to world violence. A lot of profit can be made from world violence. A lot of money. Wall Street can do really good. Banks can do really great on a world falling apart. But a happy world, a world where you don't have kids like this, a world where people use the internet and their abilities to conversate and not be hypocrites and come together on common ground. A world like that, you don't have billionaires. You probably barely have millionaires. You just have people who are being people instead of people trying to be the kings and the lords and just oodles and oodles of people who sold out the human race. But anyway, this is Gerard. Happy Monday, y'all. Happy Slavery Monday. Do me a favor. Go out and just say something to somebody today that demonstrates that you actually have love within you, that you're not a hypocrite, that you're not a sellout, and you actually know what's wrong with the world, and you want to help send it in the right direction. Y'all have a wonderful day. Please don't forget our family in Yemen. They are still starving. Nope, I said that wrong. They are still being starved. Y'all have a great day. Love y'all to death. Bye-bye.